Do you mind doing me a favor and just standing in front of the podium to make sure that I can see you? Yeah, just right there is fine. That is perfect. I can see you. You're good. You're live. There's no sound right now, but they can see us. Thank you so much.
I don't know. I understand why. Not getting paid. Providing a free office. We're even around, we're going to ask some advice. Jim, he's a smart guy. Oh, I know, but you guys I've seen him slotting sent the article where Chief Weaver was talking about it, and how proud he was, and everything except the full Oh, I know, Sam, but you guys I've seen him slotting sent the article Chief Weaver, but you don't see it. New suspension seal in the market. Stick with all the holes in the walls, not the hole. Yeah, I'm all paint them all white. All the way throughout, so. That way I don't get the guys down the ground. Oh, yeah. Down there, go help us out. You guys did it. I appreciate the fact that y'all did it, but keep waiting. I don't think I can get it. Rotate and do every day and work on those. Yeah, without the line. Yeah. But back then, you guys didn't make any events calls. So you were just making fire calls for the most part. Yeah, a little more time. If any events keep the secret about the events, let's get this out of the way. Still late. You would already, especially when you do hires. We can still get somebody who's got 15, 20 years old. They'll still have some students. But go below 15. I think when the
Good afternoon, Rotarians and guests. Thank you so much for being here on this beautiful Thursday. It's such a lovely day. It's just a little bit after 12. We're going to start a little bit early today because we've got a really special agenda for you. And so it's so nice to see the room full of such beautiful people. And I want to thank you for being here on behalf of Rotary International and the Rotary Club of Tyler and all the people that we help serve in this world and on this planet, in our community. Just by being here, you are contributing to our ability to serve. And that is why we're all here, because we have a servant's heart. And giving back is so much fun, isn't it? I mean, it just makes you feel good all over. Anyway, thank you all for being here today. If you have a cell phone, please turn it off, or just turn the ringer off so that we can not have any interruptions. And if you would all please give our magnificent pianist, Vicki Conway, a hand. What a joy, all that beautiful music. It's really special. Okay, and now, if you would stand, I'm inviting Allison Cambray to come lead us in the pledge and the national anthem.
Let us face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail as the twilight's last gleaming, whose large stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare of unbursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you so much, Allison. Okay, everybody please give Claudia Carroll a hand, because she was our greeter today and she did such a lovely job. She's also going to do introductions and bring the invocation today. Thank you.
If you'll bow with me, please. Lord, thank you for this beautiful and glorious day that you've brought us today. And thank you for the fellowship of our fellow Rotarians and our visitors. Lord, we pray for John Presley and for Betty as John is hopefully recuperating. We pray for your hands of healing on him. Lord, we ask that you protect our troops in harm's way, our first responders as they respond to different tragedies around our area. Lord, we ask that you bless this food to the nourishment of our bodies and our bodies to your service. We ask this in your precious and perfect name. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, so, do I do Rotarians first? Yes, okay. All right, as y'all take your seats, do we have any visiting Rotarians from other clubs today? Okay, what? We have one up front here. You want to introduce yourself?
Sure.
You're from the...
Hello everyone, my name's Sarah Fox. I am a member of Longview Grayton, and I also serve the district as our public image and social media chair. And we've got you guys set up with a YouTube live stream, and we've got a couple people viewing right now, so I'm really excited to bring that to you guys, and thank you so much for having me.
Yay. Thank you, Sarah, for helping us join the 21st century. Okay, I'll start on the back row in this corner. Any guests back there? Nope. Mid-center? Nope. To the left? Nope. We'll come around to this one. All right. Ashley?
I have with me the Reverend Ralph E. Caraway Sr. He's the pastor of the St. Louis Baptist Church, one of the great churches here in town.
And actually, this is Austin's guest, but I would like him to stand up and introduce himself and tell a little about himself.
Thank you all for having me today. My name is Trey Cobb. I'm Interim Executive Director for Tyler Innovation Pipeline here in Tyler. We are located in downtown Tyler. We're a makerspace to help advocate for entrepreneurship and new businesses in the Tyler area. On my last semester at UT Tyler here, born and raised in Tyler, and I love this.
Center table here? This table? Okay, and I just want
I gotta
sorry, Bill.
give me half a chance here,
You weren't fast enough. Get that hand up.
guys. I brought an elder from my church and just a real fine guy. He's a captain with the Tyler Fire Department. Ken Culpepper.
And I want to encourage y'all to sign up to be greeters. I tell you what, that is more fun. I have gotten more hugs today. It's just a lot of fun. So y'all do sign up to be greeters.
Absolutely. And Chloe, you did a great job. Thank you.
Yes, you did.
Okay, now for everybody's favorite part of the program, our own famous Paul Gleiser is going to bring this week in history.
Thank you, Pam. Today, the 22nd of October in 1962, having been aware of the problem and grappling with it for a week, President John Kennedy informed the American people in a televised speech that the Soviet Union had placed missiles armed with thermonuclear warheads in Cuba, 90 miles off the American coast. Nuclear war seemed imminent for 6 very tense days until Soviet leader Nikita Khrushchev be dismantled on October the 28th. On the 23rd of October in 1921, following World War I, Sergeant Edward Younger, a highly decorated wounded soldier, was tasked by the Army to place a spray of white roses on one of 4 identical caskets containing the remains of unidentified American soldiers. That selected casket was transported to Arlington National Cemetery and became the first to be interred in what we now call the Tomb of the Unknowns. The tomb bears the inscription, "Here lies in honor and glory an American soldier, known but to God." The soldiers who guard the monument are members of the 3rd Infantry Regiment, the Old Guard, which was organized in 1784, is the oldest active regiment in the Army. And when on duty, tomb guards wear no rank insignia so as to never outrank the unknown, whoever they may be. On the 24th of October, in 1861, workers completed the link uniting the eastern and western telegraph networks of the United States, making instantaneous communication between the east and west coasts possible for the first time, and thus the name of the company that completed that task, Western Union. On the 25th of October in 1854, half a league onward, all in the Valley of Death, rode the 600. Alfred Lloyd Tennyson's poem remembers the charge of the Light Brigade, led by Lord James Cardigan, in which he led a brigade of British cavalry against Russian artillery during the Crimean War. Cardigan survived unscathed and was hailed as a hero, even though his brigade suffered 40% casualties. On the 26th of October, 1944, after 4 days of furious fighting, the Battle of Leyte Gulf, the largest air-naval battle in history, ended with a decisive American victory over the Japanese. At the conclusion of the battle, the United States held uncontested control of the Pacific Ocean, and Japan would surrender 10 months later. And on October the 27th, 1904, at 2:35 in the afternoon, New York City Mayor George B. McClellan took the controls of the inaugural run of the New York City subway. The line ran from City Hall to Grand Central, then west to Times Square and north to 145th Street. That line is now the 4, 5, and 6 trains in New York. The New York City subway is the only transit system in the world that operates 24/7. And on Wednesday, October the 28th, 1992, a ribbon cutting in Duluth, Minnesota opened the Leif Erikson Tunnel, completing the 1,593-mile Interstate 35 from Mexico to Canada, and thus officially completing the interstate highway system, which was begun on June the 29th, 1956. Birthdays in the coming week, any Back to the Future fans here?
Yes.
Well, Doc Brown, Christopher Lloyd, turns 82 today.
Okey doke.
Actor Kevin Kline will turn 73 on Saturday. And then on Wednesday of next week, Hillary Clinton turns 73, Pat Sajak turns 74, and Charlie's Angel original Jacqueline Smith turns 75.
Oh, man.
That's, but I'm good. That's this week in history.
Good job.
Thank you, Paul. It's interesting, the older I get, the more interesting this week in history gets. Okay, smile, because you're gonna be on candid camera today. Actually, today is a huge day for Tyler Rotary. It is our very first day to live stream this program for our members who cannot be here today. And I am just ecstatic. We've been talking about doing this for a long time. We finally got it to fruition. Thanks very much to Mary Birch, who really took the bull by the horns, and to Sarah Fox for making the trip over here to get us started on our very first one. We already have, I'm gonna let Mary make a couple of quick announcements. Here, we'll meet in the middle.
If you do want anyone to see the speaker, they'll have to stand in front of the camera.
Yeah, come on up here.
We've got 6 people watching right now. I've heard from 2 of them. And Barbara Severian said to me, I'll pronounce her name, never have. Need to announce that there is an editorial about Rotary and World Day Polio Day in today's Tyler paper, written by a Rotarian in Houston, and they invite non-Rotarians to contribute.
Wonderful.
Hi, Hemi.
And Hemmett's watching too from his hotel today. So,
Who all's watching, man?
Mary, do we know who all's watching besides Hemmett and Barbara?
Jack Holler, Jack Halley, Billy Kidd, Austin Lee. I texted the whole ton of them.
Jack Halley, John Payne.
I've got 7 people watching right now, so.
We've got 7 people watching right now that weren't able to be here today. What a blessing! Let's give Mary Birch and Sarah Fox a hand. Woof woof! Technology is really fun. I mean, you just get to do all kinds of cool stuff you never dreamed of doing. Okay, now I'm going to invite Dixie Walker, and I don't think Holly's here today. So Dixie is going to come up and do a wonderful feat. She's going to do our new member introductions and inductions. Intro and induct.
Well, I would like to invite, Tricia's not here? Oh, well, we just won't induct her today.
Yeah.
That's right.
Colby McElway, is it McElway or McElwee? McElwee, so sorry. And Austin Luce, and Esteban Ramirez, and Mike Kavanaugh, yes. Mike Kavanaugh, sorry. I'm trying to organize, and I don't think and organize at the same time.
I could say something tacky right now.
You could.
I'll get to it later.
So inducting new members is truly an honor for me. And so I will again read like I always do, guys, sorry. But President Walters and fellow Rotarians, I have the privilege today of presenting Esteban Ramirez, raise your hand, with Mike Kavanaugh as a sponsor, Colby McElwee with Austin Luce as his sponsor. These are our 2 new Rotarians, and they have been approved for membership in this club by the board of directors in accordance with understand that you will represent Rotary in your public, private, and social life. So, Mike, if you would like to introduce Esteban and give us a little bit of a brief biography, you know, why you thought he was worthy of our club.
Well, thank you. This is a great day when you can induct some new Rotarians. into the Rotary Club of
Exactly right.
Tyler. I recommended to Esteban to come to our meetings, and then after we came a few times, I asked him if he'd like to join. He said yes, so we got him the application, he submitted it, and here we are today. And I have to say that Esteban is everything I think the Rotary is about. And he, no doubt, will live up to our 4-way test going future as a Rotarian. When I first met, he's in the insurance business. He works for Hibbs Hallmark here in Tyler, and he's been with them for a number of years. He graduated from Texas A&M, and he has a young family, and I'm very pleased that he agreed to join us. When I first met Esteban, I had joined the Knights of Columbus here in Tyler, and Esteban is a member. And one of the things I admire about the Rotary is no different than the Knights. And that's because the number one mission is to put others before yourself. And when I witnessed the activity of Esteban, his enthusiasm, jumping in into whatever needs to be done, as well as being an officer, I thought he would make a very good Rotarian.
Thank you. Austin, would you like to come forward and convince us?
Colby's sweating it right now. So I've known Colby for a couple of years now, and he actually worked with me prior to graduating. He did a summer internship in our office, and I knew that he was just the right fit for the Rotary Club. He's just he goes the extra mile, and he cares about people, and he's always looking for opportunities to give back to others. I know he's done a tremendous amount of work with the YMCA and with after-school programs and working with children, and so he just really has a servant's heart, and is just what our Rotary Club needs. I'm proud to present Colby McElwee for membership.
So, guys, do Esteban and Colby know the 4-way test?
Say yes.
So yeah.
Tell her what to say.
Oh, yeah. So, Esteban and Colby, you have been informed of the requirements of membership in Tyler Rotary. Do you accept them and agree to uphold the ideals of Rotary and be a vital and active part of this club? Excellent. So on behalf of the Board of Directors of the Rotary Club of Tyler, you're hereby inducted into membership, and we have a member packet for you, and you have a badge now, Colby, so you can wear your name tag. Give these to you. Esteban? Those have good information inside there, so you can look at it, and if you need to, you may not, but if you do, it's there. It's good information. So, Esteban, is there anything that you would like to say to the club now that you are an inducted member?
Thanks for having me. I appreciate, if y'all need any help with anything, personal or business-wise, I'm definitely here. I got a small family, 3 kids, Stella, Poppy, and River, and so that's pretty much the best part of my life. So.
Sounds like to me he just volunteered for several committees.
He did.
Colby, would you like to say something?
I would. I don't think I need a microphone. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
I'm still talking to a microphone. I'm sorry, but I'm so thankful for all y'all to have me, and y'all are all wonderful people, and I'm so grateful. Without this, I don't know what I would be doing. It's hard. Life's hard. I'm young. I still don't have everything figured out. I don't know if I'll ever have it. But I just want to say thank y'all, and it's more of I know we're all doing great things on the community, but it's more of a family. I don't see just the members of a group, and I thank y'all for having me.
So, are you bring their Rotary cans?
Stick them. There you go. They're official.
Wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise and join in welcoming our newest Rotarians, Esteban Ramirez and Colby McElroy. Thank you.
Well, that's about as exciting as you could possibly get for a wonderful Thursday afternoon. Colby and Esteban, I want to personally welcome you to this club and tell you that you have no idea what a wonderful first step you've taken to become involved in something that is bigger than yourself, and it's a beautiful thing, and being able to work but also give back is truly a blessing. And we're absolutely thrilled to have you both here. We really are. Thank you so much, Mike, and thank you so much, Austin, for inviting them here, because it really means a lot to me to have you join while I'm president. And if you ever have any questions about Rotary or concerns, just don't hesitate to call Holly, because she really knows everything. So, okay. All right. I've already told you all that we're live streaming today, and we will have, if we don't right now, have our own YouTube channel.
You do have your own YouTube channel.
Sarah, do you want to, I know you're busy eating your dessert. Do you want to kind of say just a couple of words about this real quick? Because I think it would mean a lot. I mean, everybody knows live streaming, but.
So first of all, I want to encourage everyone, if you have a Facebook account, go ahead and like and follow your Rotary Club's Facebook page. And we will pull information from your Facebook page and share it with the district page, which I also encourage you to like and follow the district page as well, District 5830. We're streaming on YouTube Live. It's a little bit easier accessible than Facebook Live. You don't have to have an account to view. So you can find your YouTube channel. I'll give the information to who sends out emails in your club?
Holly.
To Holly, and she'll give you a link to the channel, and you can hit subscribe, and once you hit subscribe, we will plan out all the live links, and they'll be sent in weekly emails, I guess, from here on out. It's pretty simple, pretty easy, and if you're not able to be here in person, we certainly want you to join virtually.
Absolutely.
If you have any questions, I'll give my contact information to Holly, and I'm accessible, and you can talk to me whenever you need anything. Yay!
Thank you again, Sarah. Okay, that's just all too very exciting. How many of you made your World Polio Day contribution? Raise your hand. Woohoo! I love it. Have I done that yet?
Not yet.
I haven't done that yet, but anyway, we're doing the same thing this year. We're doing double up for polio. And instead of the original $26.50 that started the first donation to World Polio, we're doubling up. So that's $53. $53. We can all afford that to help put an end to this terrible, terrible disease.
We'll take donations next week too. So
Yeah, well, and if you aren't prepared today, you can bring your check next week, or your credit card, or however you want to do it. So, and to those of you who have already contributed, thank you very much. Thank you very, very much.
Don't forget the match.
And don't forget the Bill Gates match. So, it's nice to be a billionaire. Okay. Let's see. Tonight at Villa Montez, and I thought it was at Olive.
It is Olive.
It's Olive Mundo's restaurants, which is 1836, and that other place that I can't think of.
Montez Creekside.
Montez Creekside. Where is that?
White House.
Oh, White House. Okay. He's giving a portion of all his proceeds from those 3 restaurants tonight to South Tyler Rotary for their Polio Plus contribution this year. So that's really nice. And even if you can't go tonight, just putting a big thanks out to Mundo would be something that he would appreciate, I'm sure, from all of us. Because even though we're in separate Rotaries, we're all on the same team. So, okay, mark your calendars. November the 12th, 5:30 to 7:30 at Hobbies. Be there or be square. Who all plans on being there? Come on, everybody. Raise your hand. It's going to be a party. It's going to be so much fun. We're going to get to visit with TYPN, and really, it's going to be the first of a tradition, and we're going to have so much fun. It's going to be really wonderful. I have been an affiliate for, is it an affiliate or an associate? For TYPN for years, and it is the coolest group of very young people who have their heads on straight. So it's very exciting. I love TYPN, and just the thought of getting to spend 2 solid hours with them makes me think that's not enough. But it'll be fun, and it'll be our first, so really try to be there. November the 12th at 5:30. It's $24. That pays for your
2 drinks and appetizers, and I just need your head count because I have to prepay it. So
yeah. That was a discussion at our table earlier. Yes, Dylan?
I was also going to say it does help if you guys do prepay so we can get a more accurate count to let the venue know how many appetizers you're prepared for.
Exactly. So go ahead and prepay. Let Holly know you're going to come. That way she has the head count, and then just give her your credit card or check or however you want to pay for it. Okay, let's see what else have we got. We have a big business day. Our next board meeting will be November the 20-something. I think that's 20th. Okay, I forgot my glasses today. At Hemant Patel's La Quinta Inn. You all heard this bill before, but I'm going to say it again. Come to one of our board meetings. It is a blast. And especially Colby and Esteban, if you have a chance to come, it's so much fun at 11:30. Bring a lunch, stop by and pick up something, and then just get to hear Rotary business and visit with all the board members. It's so interesting, informative, educational, and such a great way to get deeper into Rotary and understand more about how it runs and how it has lived its life for so long and done so many absolutely incredible things around the world. I mean, I can't say enough about that. So anyway, if you get a chance, please try to come to a board meeting. Put it on your calendar sometime and just come to one. It really mean a lot to me to see your face there because it's very interesting. And it's also good camaraderie. We have a lot of fun. And DM always brings these magnificent, irresistible cookies. Don't ever let me take any home again. Okay. All right, that's that. And now, next week is Dr. Crawford, Dr. Marty Crawford, our superintendent of TISD. So that'll be a very interesting and informative meeting. But today, I'm going to invite our illustrious President-elect Bill Pascal to introduce our program for today.
Thank you, Pam. This thing, okay. Well, here we are, high tech. I just learned how to hook up a VCR.
Awesome.
A lot of you guys don't know what a VCR is. Today's guest is our fire chief. I'm so used to saying chief of police, but it's the fire chief, David Coble. He has been chief of Tyler Fire Department for about 4 years. Comes to us from Fort Worth. Real nice guy. It's been a pleasure to sit and get to know you. So with that further ado, Chief Coble.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is a pleasure being here today. I want to thank Allison. He's the first one to invite me to one of your meetings. So he did reach out to me, and that was a blessing the last time I was here. So I'm glad there wasn't a long introduction and no bio that was requested, which is always good. My name is David Coble. I've been in the fire service for 36 years. I did 32 years in Fort Worth, and then I came here as a fire chief. I rose up the ranks in Fort Worth to be an assistant chief, and then in 2015, when the chief moved on to be an assistant city manager, I was the fire chief there in 2015. So I've been here, I'm kind of in an interim 4 years, so the council approved me September 26th of 2016, but my first day to work wasn't until November 7th. So sort of been here 4 years, so something like that. This afternoon, I'm going to give you an update on where we are in the fire department, some of the things we're doing. Hopefully, at the end of it, I would have helped you sort of have a better understanding of how Tyler Fire Department works and what we do. Here in East Texas, different from the Metroplex, and please don't, I'm not from Dallas. Here all the time. You know, I don't know if you are aware of the rivalry between those two cities, but when we're in Fort Worth, you're not even allowed to say the D word. You have to say the evil empire to the east. So the rivalry goes back hundreds of years. But here in Smith County, the Tyler Fire Department has been a fully paid fire department for more than 100 years. So I know we're surrounded by a lot of volunteer agencies, and some of that is also changing for those of you who live in Smith County. The ESD 1 and 2, you are paying for fire service at this point, although some of the names still say volunteer. So your service level is going up with them as well, and I'm sure they're appreciative of the tax dollars. Those of you that live in Tyler, thank you for the tax dollars that support the fire department here in Tyler. I am very happy to lead a group of men and some administrative staff of women. I'd like to change that and at some point maybe hire some women as well. We did have one when I got here, but she had just left. I think she had, Laura Mason had left probably about 2 or 3 months before I got here. So the fire service is open to both genders. So we'll talk about that a little bit more as we go along. I'm just going to kind of give you an update of where we are, what kind of we've done since I've been here in the last 4 years. Then at the end, I'll give you a little bit about where we're planning on going, sort of a vision, and then I'll open it up for a little question and answer if there's enough time. So I'll talk fast. If I'm going too fast, tell me to slow down. I come from a family of 8. I'm number 6 out of 8 children, so in order, I've had to interrupt and talk and speak very loudly to get my point across my whole life. So that's just part of it. I graduated from the Executive Fire Academy at the National Fire Academy in Maryland, Emmitsburg, Maryland. I have a bachelor's degree from Dallas Baptist University, and I have a master's MBA from Texas A&M Commerce. So we're Lions, not quite, you know, but that's okay. I have a sister that's a full Aggie, both undergrad and grad, so she is all in the room. So in administration, some of the things some of you have noticed that we have around the city, we relocated 2 fire stations. We built those fire stations simultaneously last year. You see more gray hair. If you look at any pictures that I came here 4 years ago, I didn't quite have this much gray. I might even have a little more hair than I currently have. But we built 2 fire stations at the same time. We opened them within a week of one another. With the help of Fitzpatrick Architect, as well as Garrett, built the station to the south, and Jacoby Brothers built the one to the north. We were able to get those completed, dealing with 2 different construction companies, and then 1 architect, 1 year planning, 1 year build, and they're done. The guys are there, and they're fairly happy with it. Now, if you know firefighters, they're not going to ever be 100%. I shoot for 80. If I can get 80, I'm happy with 80 because you're just not going to ever get there. We're a family. Sometimes we're a little dysfunctional, but we're a family, and at the end of the day, that's who we are. We are, we put together a new chief training officer. We promoted a captain to a battalion chief and added that. We implemented a fire safety house with the help of the Brookshires organization. It's an inflatable, so it doesn't require us to have a big mobile trailer to do it. It can be put in gymnasiums of schools, which this was going to be the year that was going to happen more often, except COVID-19 hit, so we didn't quite have it as many schools as we would have liked. But we do have it, and it's ready to go, and we do have a person staffed to get it there. We implemented a new rank here in Tyler. The rank is senior captain. Some of you who may be familiar with the fire service, normally there's 2 officer ranks anyway. So there's a first guy who's on the back of the truck. He's the backbone of the department. There's the one who drives the truck, that's our engineer, fire operator. And then the person who's on the right side of the truck is a company officer. And we created a second level of company officer. So in most traditional systems, that would be first level would be a lieutenant, second level would be a captain. And here, because we had already used captains as that first level, we created the rank of senior captain. Still functions the same way as lieutenant and captain, it's just captain and senior captain. Those senior captains are over the specialty programs that we do, as well as they're over each one of the fire stations. So each one of those firehouses that you see is about $1 million worth of operation, both personnel and truck. It's like running $1 million business. So, okay, I'm still there. So we put an individual that we can hold responsible for everything that goes there. Before that, you had 3 people of the same rank, and they would have to have consensus on things that need to be changed and fixed at those stations. Something else we went through during this lovely 2020, I know some of you are like me, looking forward to 2021, hoping that it'd be a better year. We did an ISO evaluation this year as well. So some of the moves that we made when relocating the fire stations, the ISO group is out of New Jersey, and they had an evaluator come in. We're hoping and praying that we're going to go to the top score. Right now, we're in ISO 2 here in Tyler. We're not sure just yet if we're going to actually bump up, but we have a good chance. If we don't do it this time around, I know we'll bump up the next time. Insurance Service Organization, and it is used by many of the insurance industries to set your insurance rate. So going from a 2 to a 1 really won't help homeowners as much. It's going to be about the same, but for businesses, it would be a big thing. So that's why that's important. That's why the relocation of those stations, so that we have good coverage in the areas, all of that makes a big difference. So the station that we moved here off of Cumberland actually decreased the response time to this Holly Tree area by around 2.5 minutes. Before that, the station that responded to the Holly Tree area came from Reek and Old Bullock. Okay, now we would, if it was a fire, we were going to send units from all over the city, but it's all about who gets on, how quickly they can get on, how quickly they can give you help. So by that move, by putting that station at Cherry Hill and Cumberland, that reduced the time. And not just that, the planning of those streets that cut through into Holly Tree. I know everybody's not always happy about that, but those streets that cut into Holly Tree helps that fire unit to get to this area much, much faster. And so they can render help a lot quicker. And there are national standards. Over the last couple of years, we've taught over 400 citizens hands-only CPR. If you want to learn hands-only CPR, I'm going to ask you to maybe, if you see the fire truck out at the store, because they do have to shop every day to eat, and so you can ask them to teach you there. It just takes about 2 or 3 minutes. Each fire truck has the equipment on the truck in order to teach you hands-only CPR anytime they're not busy doing something else. I would tell you to stop by the stations, but we still have the stations sort of shut down for COVID. We need them on the front line, so we're not letting the public in right now. Even though we serve the public every day and we go out, we're just not letting visitors come by with maybe a group of kids or anything at this time. But we hopefully will have that open again soon, so we can have more community engagement and more station tours. I serve a dual role. I'm also the emergency management coordinator for the city of Tyler. So during Harvey, we activated in 2017. We became a regional hub for that as people came up. I heard all the horror stories about previous hurricanes here in Tyler before. So we came up with a new thing in 2017 that no one else had ever done. Now it's a model for around the state that you create a hub. So you bring people, you service them for a moment or two, and then you send them on to wherever the bigger super hubs are, which that was into the Metroplex. So we did that in 2017, and of course right now we're activated working the COVID-19 as we have been all year. That's taken a whole lot of time, but here in Smith County we're doing everything we can. All the leaders that are in those meetings are very passionate about doing everything we can to keep the people of Smith County and the city of Tyler as safe as we possibly can. So a lot of good people there. Of course, we work disasters. That's what emergency management does. And I already talked about Harvey and COVID-19. We also will have some training that we'll have, and we'll invite leaders throughout the city to come to some emergency management training that we'll put on. Of course, this year we haven't had an opportunity to have training, and we get credit for being activated this long as training this year anyway. So more than likely next year we'll have another either tabletop event or hands-on event. Some of the equipment that we've changed. We've made upgrades to our fire ground communications trailer. If you didn't know it, we do have a mobile command trailer. It's at Station 5, just off of Earl Campbell, right there. I think it's Bennett Street, right there at Fire Station number 5. We did, that trailer was being pulled with a rehab dump truck at one time. When I got here, the guys were telling me how unsafe it is. Now there's a Ford F-450 diesel pulling that thing now, and it's much more safer. It's just a absolutely safer operation. We replaced our self-contained breathing apparatus. That's that air that we take into us in the fires. The ones we had were 22 years old, and so we did a full change out of everybody. So we all have up-to-date, modern self-contained breathing apparatus. We also implement a rehab unit that's at Station 10, and rehab is for really extreme temperatures, hot days, cold days. So over 100 degrees, these guys are going into these fires and they're putting on 70 pounds of gear and covering up all their pores and going inside a place that may be 12 to 1500 degrees. But when they come out, we have a trailer that they can go to and get shade and something to drink and air blowing on them and those kind. That's what a rehab trailer is. There's a national standard, and we're getting there. We're working on right now for the future a bus that the transit gave us, and then it's going to be a bus instead of the trailer, so we won't need to hook it up to something to get it out there and it'll respond a little bit faster. We bought a couple of new fire engines, and fire engines aren't cheap. And thank you, citizens of Tyler, for fire engines, because we need them. They have about a 15-year lifespan, and we had come to the end lifespan on some of them. So last year we were able to get one that's at Fire Station 10 at UT Tyler, and we have one that we're going to look at on Monday. The final inspection on Monday. We should have it next month, and it's going to go at Station 9, which is at Biloxi and Loop 49. If you're familiar with the one that's south of Cumberland, right there. We bought a new diesel brush truck for any type of interface that we have, where you have interface with the rural area coming into the city. So you have grass fires in that area. So we bought a new diesel 4-door brush truck, and we put it at the Cumberland station, Station 4, which is the one at Cherry Hill in Cumberland. That's where it's located. We talked about the full truck. We changed over. We noticed that we were having a lot of fuel repairs on small engine repair. If you don't know, these trucks are loaded down with equipment. And so on there is some small engine things. And this ethanol gas gives those small engines the blues. So we implemented a program. We were already buying the ethanol gas in cans, but it's pretty expensive to buy ethanol gas in 3-liter cans. So we found some people around here that actually service stations that have non-ethanol gas. And so then we implemented a plan. That was a big cost-saving thing. We saved right at about $10,000 that year on what we were spending for cans. And now we distribute it now they just go out to the station and fill up these containers that they pump into their lawnmowers. It also helped us in the repair costs. It went way down because we don't have the gummed up carburetors. We put 4 gas meters on every fire truck. So as each one of the fire trucks come to your house to service or your business to service you, they can actually determine what type of gases you have inside of your facility. As you evacuate out, it determines what they put on, whether they put an SED on or not, whether they tell you you can stay in there or you need to leave. So we have carbon monoxide, other gases. It will detect 4 gases. We upgraded our hazmat unit. We only had 12. We are a regional hazmat response group here in Tyler. So we respond out anywhere in East Texas region. The state can ask for us to go out. We'll mount up and head that way. But when we did, we took all of them. They all went. That was all the hazmat techs we had. So then what happens to Tyler? So what I did was I doubled the number of people. Instead of having 12, we have 24 now. So if we send some out, we still have some for the city. So we doubled that amount, got them all the training, have those specialty things going on. I talked about those coordinators earlier. Hazmat is one of those areas that we have someone who's coordinating it all the time. We also do technical rescue. I was only here about a week, and we had the tragedy down in Bullard with the well situation. It was our guys that actually went down and made the recovery. And so that was our technical rescue group. They set up a tripod, they sent somebody down, and then brought it back up. So that was the group here. I was here like a week when that happened, but that showed me right away that the expertise of these guys working in technical rescue was on point. So we've supported them by getting them new rope, new rescue equipment, new training, and all of that to get them upgraded. We've done some renovations at Fire Station number 2, but I can tell you our future plans is to tear that one down and rebuild it. Fire Station number 2 is at the corner of Reek and Old Bullard. It's our second largest station with the number of people that work there every day. So it has a battalion chief, it has a ladder truck, and it has an engine. And that one is kind of almost past its useful life. They've spent some money to paint it and fix and add air conditioning and some other stuff. But the location is absolutely pristine. We don't want to move from that location because land in that area is sold by the square inch, I think. I think it's a square foot. And so we want to keep it there, but what I have in my strategic plan is to move them to another location, tear that one down, and rebuild in the same location. Probably the 2-story right there is sort of what we work with Fitzpatrick to put it in that particular location. We did a couple of other renovations. Station 8, we added some parking spaces just because they didn't have too many when they first built. Station 3, we added some lighting. Station 3 is at Pounds Airport. Many of you never see that fire station unless you look out the plane window right before you take off. You look over to the right, or when you're landing, there's a fire station out there. That's fire station number 3. We staff it every day with 2 personnel. And we are looking to get a new ARF truck. ARF stands for Aircraft Rescue Firefighting Truck. They're pretty expensive. Normally the FAA pays 90%, we pay 10%. That's coming up. 5 minutes?
Sort of.
Okay, all right, I'm looking at you. I remember reading my email. When you get up, I'm winding down. So I'm gonna go to the last page. On the last page, if you've seen any of our fire trucks lately, we have a motto as well. And it says on the side of our trucks now, our family serving your family. Because we are in the customer service business. We are a family. Again, we work a third of our lives with one another. We work 1 day on, 2 days off. So we are that other family. When the family hurts, we hurt as well. We grieve with them. We pray for them. We do all of those things because we actually live with one another for a third of our lives. Very, very important. So that motto is there for 2 reasons: to remind the firefighters of what they do, and so that you can remind the firefighters of what they should be doing. Because you want to feel like the service that they provide to you is just like family, that they are serving you as they should, and they do it day in and day out. But it's just a reminder. It's not saying that they don't do it, because they do. But it's a reminder, and it's something that we can live by. Very similar to the Rotary, service above self. Okay, I'm going to go to the last thing about where we're headed to. So we're going to continue our fleet replacement. One of the things that we have on the plans is at Station 10, which is the UT Tyler area. We're planning on buying next year the first ladder tower that I think we've had here in the city of Tyler. I know we had a snorkel. I'm not sure if we had one with a basket on it. Captain here has been with us 35 years. Have we had a tower before? I don't think we've had. So the difference in a tower and a ladder truck is the tower is that an end of it has a bucket on the end. So if we pull up to your window, we open a little door, you step right onto the bucket. You don't have to climb down the ladder. So around the UT Tyler area, the plans is to build a lot of mid-rise dormitories and some other things around there. And then that station was built to be able to handle a ladder truck. So I've gotten approval. If the economy and everything sticks with it, next year we'll be ordering that tower truck. Right now, I'm thinking it's going to be Tower 10 is going to be probably the name of it. And it will be a third ladder truck in the city, also giving us better coverage and also helping with our ISO rating here in the city of Tyler. With that, I'm going to wind down because I probably didn't leave myself any time for question and answers, but...
Oh, yes, you did.
Oh, I did, okay. So it's been my pleasure to be here today. I have been doing this for 36 years. I don't think I've worked, other than since I became fire chief, a day in my life. I can tell you it's much more fun doing what the captain's doing here at the station than it is what I do. I said fun. It's still rewarding for me, but it's not as much fun as it is when he gets to hang out at the station with the guys every day. That's the real stuff. And out of all the positions I've been in, I would say I really enjoyed when I was a driver. I was only a driver for about 6 years, but during that time, I really enjoyed it. I mean, what other time can you blow your horn at people, tell them to get out of your way, right? And by law, they have to get out of your way, right? It don't get any better than that. It don't get any better than that. It's really good. Yes, sir.
Unlike a lot of cities, if I'm correct, that fire departments also handle EMS, we don't do that here in Tyler.
We do handle EMS. We're first responders. It's about 80% of our calls.
Well, I'm just saying, because house fires over the past 30 years declined.
Yes, sir. That is true. It's about 80% of our calls. We have enhanced many of those EMS services over the last 4 years. So we can do better diabetic care. We can do better respiratory type care. One thing we ran into in the last couple of years with those EpiPens, seemed like the manufacturer really upped the price in them. We had them, but to replace them was going to cost a fortune. So we sent all of our people over to train with UT Health EMS, and now we have the vials of epinephrine, and we just pull it and give it. It's easy and a whole lot cheaper than buying those EpiPens. So we did that about 2 years ago. Yes, sir.
So, just to tell you a little bit about this guy. So, Chief and I'd say we knew each other before mid-March, but we've spent hours together since
many hours
together. And, this is a fine young man, but I think the question I want to ask you to respond to, what happened this time was this was the first time that the city and county in years have gotten together and actually did a joint emergency operations center. So, Chief, if you just kind of talk about the challenges of doing that and why that's been so successful. I think that's one of the real success stories of this whole thing.
Okay. Well, for George, I guess it was a bit different. For me, it wasn't unusual. Where I came from, city and county worked together. The EOC, Emergency Operations Center. I'll stop speaking in acronyms. I'll start expanding. The Emergency Operations Center was part city, part county, part state. The troopers were there. It was all part of what we did. Here in Smith County, we didn't always work together like that. So for me, it was a pleasure to bring them all in, and we had one source of information. We battled it out in the room, and when we left the room, when we talked to the public, they received one source of information. It all flowed very easy. We've gotten quite a few compliments. George has had some articles written in some magazines on it. But for us, it's what we should be doing. It's what we should be doing all the time. We're all in the same county. We should be working together. You shouldn't get two different messages. This thing was confusing enough that you didn't hear one thing from the county and another thing from the city. You needed to hear one message. It breeds confidence. It makes you feel a little safer. And there was people over the last, since March, working very, very hard to try to make sure that you guys were okay.
But the big point there is that Chief Cobble, along with Marshall Brooks, had to serve as the incident coordinator. So they had to coordinate the people who speak a lot, like yours truly, the mayor, the county judge. There are lots of people in the room that have strong opinions about life. And his job was to try to keep the conversations going in a positive direction. So that was he did a fabulous job of doing that. Has done and continues to do a fabulous job of keeping the conversations moving forward in a way that is productive. So thank you for your work with that.
Thank you, sir.
Do you have any trouble recruiting?
Yes, we're working on that right now. COVID is hampering that, but yes, we are going to gyms. We're going to talk to the military, and those of you who are veterans, thank you for your service. My son's Navy officer, so I understand. And today, speaking of veterans, my nephew graduated from basic, and so they did it virtually. All right. So, he's Army. The family was all proud. We were all watching online and texting each other. It was really cool. So we are going to do more recruiting. We have till January till the test, and you should see something somewhere on our Facebook account, but also at gyms and other places over the next few weeks.
No, thank you so much. That's so educational. probably spend the rest of the day here answering questions and giving us information about the fire department because we don't get enough. But I do just want to real quickly tell you, please keep doing the elementary school programs. When I was 6 years old, my brother was 10, and he had just gotten had one of the fire departments come to the school where he was in grade school, and on a weekend, I backed up to a space heater at my grandparents' house, and my brother had learned to drop and roll, and he did that. He pulled one of my grandparents' rugs around me, and I mean, he did save my life. We were way out in the country, a couple of 100 miles out in the country from a hospital, and if he hadn't been there, I'm sure I wouldn't be here today. So those grade school programs are powerful. So keep it coming, and thank you so much. We want to present this to you for your time today. It's a certificate for a book that we give to the Literacy Council in your name. Thank you so much.
This will go on our Facebook page. All right, got it.
Okay. All right. It's ready for the. We're ready for the Ace of Diamonds, and I really feel lucky today for whoever gets the ticket. I think this is going to be your lucky day. So, Chief, would you draw the lucky ticket,
Certainly, I
please?
will.
Come on, Chief. And read the. Yeah.
I have my glasses on too.
Yeah. Read the last 3 digits.
681.
681.
This thing is
681. Oh, come on.
It's going to take this lady an hour to check all her.
Mine. Not
I think
me.
it's mine. I'm having trouble seeing it.
Oh, Jennifer, I hope it's yours.
Put your glasses on.
It is Jeff?
681.
Perfect.
Don't tell me I can't see it.
Yep, she's a winner.
These are actually my tickets today, too.
Nice.
There's 30 cards left
I would
and
have.
$1,267 in the pot.
All right.
Wow.
Go, Jennifer.
Go get it, Jennifer. We're full.
Big money, big money.
I think this is a lucky day.
Oh.
No. Oh, boo. Okay, if you'll stand and join me in the 4-way test of the things we think, say, and do. First, is it the truth? Second,
Is it fair to all concerned?
3,
Will it build goodwill and better
friendships? And 4th,
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
We're adjourned.